Never break, always fight, never quit, do it right, play the game, win it life, have no shame, there's no time, feel the pain, live the grind, I could change, in my mind, pick a lane, commit and climb, the only way to win it life, I never miss, that's fact, taking big swings, bitch, hand me the bat, put me in the ring, you'll go out in a bag, cause I sing what I mean, and I bring it to the mad light, ain't got time to kill, I got time to feel, I took the red pill, I know life's short, so I wanna live real, but how's it supposed to feel? 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 They wanna say my name, but they holding back. They wanna say they hate, but they know it's cap. I ain't play no games, I just do that's fact. And I don't feel no shame, it's a mood you lack. I go crazy, nah bitch I ain't lazy. Track after track, I work on the shit daily. Pass me the jack, right as fuel, got me hazy. About to unpack all these things I've been chasing. I've got visions in my head, like memories after death. To be a legend instead of something you can forget. I'm living up every breath, I'd rather lead than be led. I'll fill the seats as I spread with every word that I've said. How's it supposed to feel? How's it supposed to feel? How's it supposed to feel? Bloody good. Guys, oh, where'd the screen go? Hello. Oh, there we are. I'm not on camera today. I look like shit, so. Hey, Alex, how you going? Shannon, how you going? Kai, how you going? Mrs. Kai, how you going? Deb, how you going? Who else have we got in here? Geo Loft, how you going? Zal, how you going? Deb J, how you going? J1, how you going? I did say Zal, didn't I? Hey, Meg Aussie, how you going? Good to see ya. What else have we got in here? Trying to read through everything. Did I say Shannon? How you going? Michelle Epp, how you going? Sherry, how you going? Who else have we got in here? Kai, Zal, Sherry. Yep, okay, I think I've got everyone. Okay, let's get into a little bit of news before we go to Rumble and have a call-in show if anyone wants to call in. Elon Musk said the legacy media wants to destroy your right to freedom of speech. They're saying it out loud and repeatedly. Now, this is in the US. This is not in Australia. Dave Rubin, CNN, MSNBC and The View all calling for online censorship as they lose control. Watch to the end. Okay, let's have a listen.
I think in a normal country, we would say, hold on a second, maybe we need to have a different set of regulations for social media platforms now that they're this big.
It would help if we could regulate social media, because one of the biggest offenders is D.C. and Congress have not been able to do one thing in regard to the rogue corporations of social media.
And then moves them through YouTube videos, through podcasts, moves them from that annoyance all the way slowly to a full-blown fascist politic. We don't have the equivalent of Joe Rogan and Jordan Peterson to move that man in a feminist direction.
Go fuck yourself. Is that clear? I hope it is.
I think in a normal country,
Yeah, no, you guys are being the authoritarians and fascists. That's what censorship is. He said Mika Brzezinski, Elon Musk, could have undermined the messaging so much that he actually controls exactly what people think, and that is our job. Does anyone remember this?
And I think that the dangerous, edges here are that he's trying to undermine the media, trying to make up his own facts. He could have undermined the messaging so much that he can actually control exactly what people think, and that is our job.
When talking about this,
Hear that? That is our job, she said. Okay, so there you go. Cat Turd said good riddance, corrupt to the core. Ian Yeager said breaking, FBI Director Christopher Wray to retire before President Trump's inauguration. And so he should. Peter Sweden said huge. Trump has promised to never allow the creation of a central digital bank currency to protect people from government tyranny. So there you go, there's that one. Anonymous said we're not denying the election, we just want to make sure of its integrity because seems some funny things are still going on over here. Oh, they called Nevada for Trump. They should, 96% reporting. But Arizona, with 83% reporting, still hasn't called it even though it looks like favouring Trump. And over here in California, they've only got 63% reporting and they've called it for Kamala Harris. Isn't that funny? They called this for Kamala Harris before they even really counted any votes. Wouldn't it be funny if it changed as they counted? Okay, MJ Truth Ultra said Donald Trump's plan to terminate the US relationship with the World Health Organization and thwart their efforts to surrender our sovereignty with the pandemic treaty. The World Health Organization has become nothing more than a corrupt globalist scam, allegedly paid for by the United States but owned and controlled by China. When the China virus reached our shores, the World Health Organization disgracefully covered the tracks of the Chinese Communist Party every single step of the way. For this reason, it was my great honour to terminate America's relationship with the World Health Organization. Unfortunately, crooked Joe Biden foolishly re-entered the World Health Organization. This is what Trump's saying. And now Biden has pushed to bypass the United States Senate to enter a pandemic treaty that would surrender American sovereignty to the WHO, again controlled by China. As president, I'll immediately terminate that treaty, not allow public health to be used as a pretext to advance the march of global government, withdraw from the corrupt World Health Organization, work to forge a new coalition of nations that are strongly committed to protecting health while also upholding sovereignty and freedom. They were so anxious to get the United States back after I terminated the agreement. They were so anxious to get it back, they offered me a deal, $25 to $30 million, and I said, no, I'll wait. Verica said, I wish Trump would adopt Australia. You know what? I do too. Okay, Matthew Kamenzuli said Trump hasn't even entered the White House yet, and already Tedros the Great is backpedaling. Who got COVID wrong in almost every way possible, almost as if it were more about politics than health. Surely that's not true, and they believed the masks both didn't work and did at the same time, that the untested jabbies would both stop and not stop transmission, that they were safe and effective, that lockdowns were the gold standard and Australia was amazing. The model response. If all of that is true, why is he backpedaling so hard? He should have tried living here. Many of us will never get over it. Unforgivable. Go away, Tedros.
WHO did not impose anything on anyone during the COVID-19 pandemic. Not lockdowns.
Bullshit.
Not mask mandates.
Bullshit.
Not vaccine mandates.
Bullshit.
We don't have the power to do that. We don't want it, and we're not trying to get it.
Bullshit.
Our job is to support governments with evidence-based guidance, advice, and when needed, supplies to help them protect their people.
Bullshit, 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 and more bullshit. Sorry, but that's what it is. And so you wouldn't believe who else is trying to get on Trump's good side now. Mr. Billy E. Gates Gruff. Lozzie B said Aussie MAGA. We got our own Aussie MAGAs here. Make Albo go away. Make Australia great again. Please, someone, anyone. Help. Okay, Australians versus the agenda. She's a very good-looking young lady, actually. Australians versus the agenda. Journalist, what data are we all going to have to... Oh, well, I'll let her say it. They don't answer, by the way, okay? Just listen to this.
What data are we going to all have to hand over to prove that we're over 16? Are you considering driver's licences, biometrics, MyGov accounts? And doesn't that sound like a recipe for data breach disaster? What data are we going to all have to...
Yeah, they never answered. They obfuscated. Communications Minister completely avoids responding to the question, talks about the age assurance trial, deflects from the fact that the answer is a nationalised and mandatory digital ID scheme. Exactly. The Patriot Oasis said breaking, the FEMA supervisor who instructed disaster relief officials to avoid homes advertising Trump has been relieved of duties, according to an official statement. Her name is Marnie Washington. Okay, I'm going to call her Marnie. Marnie reportedly conveyed the message both verbally and through a Microsoft Teams chat to relief workers. Implement best practices. Not one goes anywhere alone. Avoid homes advertising Trump. Practice de-escalation and preventative measures. Communicate and follow the rules. Bring a towel with you tomorrow in the field. Frequent breaks and drink water. Avoid high salt diets and coffee. Coconut water is a fast way to replenish your electrolytes quickly. Avoid homes advertising Trump. Nice one. Nice one, love. Liz R. said this exemplifies everything wrong with the far-left Liberals. This type of behaviour has been supported for years by the far left. Only because one person had the decency to report it do we know. How many other people got that email text and said nothing? They should also all be fired also. Yep. Agree. Ron Dutton said some interesting questions arise from discussion today about social media bans. Is group SMS social media? Is iMessage social media? Both support chat. Will young people still be able to view social media sites, just not contribute? Will search engines be restricted in their indexing of social media? When new sites and services emerge to replace named sites like X, Facebook, Instagram, etc., how will age restrictions be applied to them? What is the definition and scope of social media? Just the tip of the iceberg, another piss-poor plan from Labor. They got no idea. Oz Integrity said Labor consistently produce really badly written law, then use those vagaries to prosecute their agenda far beyond the claimed scope of that law. Labor are dangerous. That's exactly what they do. They make it vague so they can just use it however they want. Tracy said, oh no, just heard the news. People have been looking on Google to move to Australia since Trump won, and it surged by 820%. Don't come here. You lefty lunatics, don't come here. And I'll show you why shortly. Our animals are some of the most dangerous animals out there, let me tell you. I've got snakes roaming my front garden. I've got spiders everywhere on my front veranda where I sit and have cigarettes. There are big, black spiders crawling all around me. Don't come here, let me tell you. Insurrection Barbie said Zuckerberg spent $350 million to break America. Elon Musk spent $40 billion to put it back together again. Freedom is very expensive. Don't break it again. I agree. That's why we've got to fight like hell. Craig Kelly said, in many of the replies I've received, there seemed to be a widespread misunderstanding of the preferential voting system here in Australia for people. The preferential voting system advantages independents and minor parties. Take, for example, the seat of Fowler at the last election. Without preferential voting, it would have been won by Christina Keneally for Labor. Getting rid of preferential voting would only help the two major parties. There really needs to be a big effort before the next election to greater explain the preferential voting system, because if you understand it, it makes your vote more powerful. Okay? So that's what would have happened, but all the little ones started getting it. Yeah, but you've got to watch who you vote for, even independents, okay? We've got a bit about Port Arthur there, which I'll read on Rumble. Lynn Phillips said, remember when Dutton... there's another one. I'll mention that on... no, I'll read this one, actually, because this is important. Lynn Phillips said, remember when Dutton mentioned Port Arthur for no particular reason, and then next minute, mass shooting in Sydney Shopping Centre? That's when I realised both parties are controlled by the DS. Australia, we're in serious trouble. They say that, and then it's like a message for someone to go and do something. It was out of the blue. He mentioned it for no reason whatsoever. Nick Amias said, tell the world the Prime Minister Anthony Albanese red and the other opposition leader Peter Dutton blue both want 16-year-old social media ban with digital ID to access social media. Both support some form of mis and disinformation law. First word that comes to mind, absolute morons. I've got a few of them. Authoritarians, morons, gronks. Okay, this was Australian gun culture in the 80s. You could go to a sports store equivalent of Rebel Sport and buy a shotgun off the rack and a box of cartridges. This bloke's a copper, not me, but it was open to everyone. We didn't go around blasting people. No, not until Port Arthur. Okay? Real Roberts said, and here it is, election fraud capital, state of Arizona. We all know, I'll read that one on Rumble because that looks like they're doing it again. It looks like they're trying to do it again. It's not working, but they're trying. Russia is not the enemy. I don't want to offend everyone, God forbid, but when I ask my colleagues and experts what is modern Europe lacking, the answer is that they're lacking brains, President Putin. Do you agree? Not all, but most. What do you think? Okay, Jerry Irish said, yes, Mary Lou McDonald, the leader of Sinn Féin, did call for harsher penalties for those who broke COVID-19 regulations during the pandemic. She said that stronger enforcement measures were necessary to ensure compliance. What the hell is going on in Ireland? Sinn Féin, seriously? What the hell? People are voting for these... Oh, my goodness. Okay. Collie said Sinn Féin are the young global leaders. And they pushed for lockdowns and more harsh enforcement measures. And that was from... Who is this from? Collie? This one's from Anotu. Oh, I don't know how to say that. Sinn Féin has been in lockstep with the government for the last 5 years. This is not what change looks like. Guys, you'd be better off voting the minor little parties. Don't vote for them. See, I know we've got the same problem here in Australia. Just trust me. Don't vote for these people. Jesus. Boca Vista said Trump the unifier. First, Trump offered to pay Kamala's campaign debt. Next, he offered to help rebuild New York. Now he shaved his hair in support of the 4B. No procreation for lib stance. I don't think he has. Has he? No, I'd love it if he did that. Can you imagine how their brains would break? Funnily enough, though, you know who else shaved their heads? Here we go. Nurse Patriot said Charlie Manson's followers did the same thing. Liberals are mentally ill. Because these ladies shaved their heads in support of Manson. I was going to say Marilyn Manson. Sorry, it's Charlie Manson. Are they related at all? Anyway. Proud Americans said, I sent this email to Charlie Kirk. I'm tired of people saying we're blue and hopeless. We're not hopeless. We're just ignored by the people that have the power to help us take our state back. Me to Charlie. Charlie, the majority of counties in Washington state is solid red. It's only a handful of counties on the west side are blue. There's something wrong with this election again. The votes make no sense and the Democrats took their bows at 8:20 p.m. There's no way in hell the count was even possible. Can anyone help? Okay, interesting. Oh, Geolof tagged me in this. Multi-million-dollar mansions going up in flames in world-famous Malibu, California, along the famous PCH, Pacific Coast Highway. Can't play it, it's on YouTube. I'll get a copyright strike or something. But there you go. Hopefully. Colin Rugg said, new Donald Trump has reportedly beefed up his security detail at Mar-a-Lago and now has a robotic dog patrolling the property. A large warning sign on the side of the robotic dog reads, "Do not pet." Why would you want to? The robot dog was made by Boston Dynamics and is equipped with surveillance technology. Safeguarding the president-elect is a top priority, the Secret Service said to the New York Post. While we cannot get into the specific capabilities, the robot dogs are equipped with surveillance technology and an array of advanced sensors that support our protective operations. Now, before anyone goes off on this, if technology is used for the right purposes, it can be good. As long as they don't take over and start shooting people like on Black Mirror. I don't know if anyone's seen the Black Mirror episode where these bloody dogs just shoot everyone with little, what are they called? Like no, they're actually pellets that they can be tracked with. But anyway, look, technology can be used for good or bad. Is that a microphone? AKA said JD Vance will be the first Marine in US history to become a VP. What the fuck? 832 said cost of living through the roof, but Albanese focuses on banning teenagers from social media. This is a story of our lives. This is a story of the days of our lives. Days of our drearies.
All right, I'm really starting to think differently about this misinformation bill. I think it's actually going to be the downfall of this fucking stupid government. Stop telling us what we can and can't do, but I mean, that's the crux of it, but I just listened to Albanese say that they're putting structures in to stop teenagers that are under 16 from using social media. Do you realise that YouTube is being watched by teenagers more than fucking TV? How are you going to stop tech-savvy teenagers? My son, I ask him to fix my phone all the time when I've got problems with my phone, just like I used to fix the VHS of my parents. How? Like what? The parents are going to regulate it? Are you off your head, Albanese? You are so fucking out of touch, man. Because you know what pisses me off? How about instead of concentrating on what our teenagers are watching and exposed to, how about you focus on the cost of living that everyone is suffering from, the taxes? We are fucking getting taxed fucking way out of control, capital gains, property tax, fucking here in Victoria, COVID recovery debt, because that fucking Daniel Andrews fucking squandered our money. Fucking, we're trying to get back the money from the Commonwealth Games that we are now paying fucking Glasgow for to hold. You guys are fucking off your nuts. How about you concentrate on shit that really fucking matters? What the fuck?
There you go. He's peed off.
All right.
Aren't we all? Okay, Asher Wolf said the Albanese government's social media age ban will breach Article 13 of the United Nations Convention of the Rights of the Child. I think they're trying to lose here. They seriously are. Lee Rain said to all you ladies shaving your heads, now you're bald and Trump is still president. Oh, dear. Good stuff. Seriously. Okay, MJ Truth Ultra said Trump plans to unleash 100+ ferocious legal warriors across America to investigate all Soros Marxist DAs and restoring justice in America. I'll let him say it.
There is no more dire threat to the American way of life than the corruption and weaponization of our justice system, and it's happening all around us. If we cannot restore the fair and impartial rule of law, we will not be a free country. As president, it will be my personal mission to restore the scales of justice in America. We will have fairness and equality under the law, and to that end, I will appoint U.S. attorneys who will be the polar opposite of the Soros district attorneys, and others that are being appointed throughout the United States. Very unfair to our population, very unfair to our country. They will be the 100 most ferocious legal warriors against crime and communist corruption that this country has ever seen. As we completely overhaul the Federal Department of Justice and FBI, we will also launch sweeping civil rights investigations into Marxist local district attorneys. And that's what we have. They're Marxists in many cases. By refusing to charge countless crimes, these Soros prosecutors appear to be engaging in selective enforcement based on illegal racial discrimination. In Chicago, San Francisco, Los Angeles, and every other city where these maniacs have taken over, the DA's offices should face federal subpoenas of their staff, their emails, and their records to determine whether they have blatantly violated federal civil rights law. As part of this effort, there should be a federal inquiry into the Soros prosecutor in Austin, Texas, who charged a veteran with murder for defending himself against a threat by a heavily armed member of a radical left mob. I will also order the Department of Justice to establish a task force on protecting the right to self-defense, which is under siege nationwide. In addition, we will have a complete investigation into the use of police state tactics by federal authorities to arrest conservatives and Christians. We will find out who ordered it, and we will hold them totally accountable. There is much more that we must do. We have to confront this radicalized law in schools. You take a look at what they've done to our schools, our beautiful schools. We have to reform the far-left bar associations and stop the purge of conservative lawyers from major law firms. I will do whatever it takes to save our legal system among the greatest achievements of Western civilization from the Marxist barbarians who seek to destroy it. And we will do that. We will save it. Thank you very much.
There you go. He's bringing justice back to the USA. And this is the same girl again. Lozzie B said, just an Aussie girl that's a proud patriot and loves the countries and her freedom. Cat Turd said, oh, you have to listen to this one. Sebastian Gorka, I wonder why we won. Okay, listen to this one.
Well, it's been rough. It was not what I was expecting.
Your voice is not what I was expecting, let me tell you that right now. I was expecting a deep voice to come out, and instead this, I don't know, something else happened.
At all, considering some of the rhetoric he has said. I thought we as a nation were smarter, but I guess not. To my transgender and friends and, the people who it affects, as long as you stay alive, they cannot say we don't exist. Being a Satanist means rebelling against them because they're wrong. And as long as you draw a breath, every breath you take is a rebellion. Keep on fighting because you just have to. Hail Satan, hail reason always.
Don't say that on my channel. You Satanist, there you go. I was not expecting the voice that came out then. I was expecting a deep voice, right? And then I get this. Holy shit. Okay, anyway, that's the Satanist. Okay. Yeah, real smart people. Liz Churchill said the WHO is a criminal entity. President Trump declined their $30 million bribe upon investigation. Over 85% of WHO's budget turns out to be funded by stakeholders like the Bill Gates Foundation. This means allegedly, health's being used as a weapon. Apparently. I'm probably going to get deleted for that one. Laura Loomis said a $20 million handicap for the Democrats is good for our country. It will put them at a deficit while we try to gain even more seats. Let's not give the people who tried to put a bullet in Donald Trump's head a balanced budget. Drive their vendors bankrupt. Who cares about those people? All I know is that when Trump does something, there's method in the madness, okay? American as fuck just in. Thousands of illegal immigrants are protesting Donald Trump in New York City. We'll deport them. That's pretty easy. Then there won't be any protests. They're illegal. It says illegal, right? There you go. Elon, try coming in the right way, mate. That might work. Elon Musk said Washington, D.C. swamp creatures trying to join real Donald Trump administration right now. This is exactly right. This is what they're trying to do. Misinformation and disinformation is about censoring citizens from speaking the truth and censoring independent broadcasters like Joe Rogan, Tucker Carlson and the People's Independent Media from speaking truth. Only the government's narrative will be allowed. And wokeness, said Hillary Clinton, we lose control if social media stops censoring content. Turns out she was right. They lose control of their bureaucracy, not their democracy. Shannon, what are you sending me? An image. I can't show it anyway. Oh, how cute. God love you. Is that your little one? Oh, very cute, Shannon. John Ruddick, MLC, said Trump just announced a multi-front war against every aspect of the censorship regime. I predict he uncovers collusion between the Biden admin and the Albanese government to suppress free speech in Australia. Well, there you go. Who can I sue? Is the FBI involved? Clint Russell said, holy shit, I might actually be able to tell the truth on YouTube again. This will send shockwaves through all the big tech and intelligence agencies. No, I did play that yesterday, so if you haven't seen that, please go to yesterday's live stream and you'll see it. Oz Integrity said breaking Queensland's chief health officer suddenly unexpectedly resigns from his role as the state's chief health bureaucrat. Watch all the CHOs run for the hills. It's coming. Have you ever heard of so many premiers and CHOs resigning? They know, we know, Albo MP knows. Chief Health Officer John Gerard has suddenly resigned from his government position. What's this show more posts? How many have I bookmarked? Giordano Bruno said, who thinks Oprah has been involved in some very, very bad activities? I do. We saw a picture of part of a video of her, and I don't really want to see the rest of it because it's enough to make anyone sick, really. I wouldn't even want to see myself, thank you very much, let alone anyone else. Craig Kelly said this totalitarian narcissist doesn't even know the law and is acting illegally. Under the Public Spaces Unattended Property Act 2021 number 38, he can only remove property if the item is unattended, the item is obstructing access or within a public place or poses a risk to person, animals or the environment or is interfering with public amenities. Local dumbnut ranger disrespecting our fallen and injured. How does this cretin sleep at night? All in line with Surf Life Saving Australia's Association's woke agenda. What utter madness. They're removing all the flags of people who have died and who are injured. Okay? Now this guy's just going around removing. Remember his face. He should be held accountable too. Bloke is just angling for a job at Pfizer. I think so. Disgusting, mate. You are disgusting, mate. Sorry, but you are. David Coleman MP said senators are right to stand up against the Albanese government's shocking misinformation bill. This appalling attack on free speech must not become law. I agree. Deeply flawed truth bill on the brink in Senate showdown. Look, it's not going to come through. It's going to fail. Like everything else they've tried, this is going to fail. Isabella Maria DeLuca said, does anyone know how I can support the Amish? A trip to Lancaster? Can I buy goods online? Go there and buy off them, direct, cash. I reckon that's the only way to help, don't you reckon? Pam Keith, Esquire, said, I do not believe in the mirage of voters who voted the whole down ballot Dem but also voted Trump. Apparently millions of Americans did that, but I haven't seen or heard of a single one. So if that's you, please explain. I don't believe 50 million people came out of the shadows in 2020 and went back into the shadows in 2024. Me either. Something weird's going on, and it has been going on for a long time, let me tell you. And I can't wait to talk about it, but I can't talk about it here. Okay. Craig Kelly said, thanks for the comment, but the preferential voting system allows you to vote Libertarian, then preference Liberal above Labor. This way you effectively get 2 bites at the cherry. You get to send a message to the Liberals, not good enough, but you still put Albanese last. It's not diluting the vote at all. It's in fact a stronger vote against Albanese. Sasquatch said, if we dilute our vote to Libertarian and not Liberal, then Labor has all the more chance of regaining, right? I'd rather the less of 2 evils, especially that grub Anthony Albanese. You don't have to accept the lesser of 2 evils here, guys. There's quite a few small parties that you can vote for, except the Greens. Don't vote for the Greens, for God's sake. Don't do that to Australia. That will finish Australia. If you think Labor was bad, you haven't seen the Greens in action yet. Peter Sweden said Bill Gates has announced he wants to work together with Donald Trump. Should Trump accept or reject? I reckon reject. Please, because the man actually really needs to be held accountable. And we need to find out what he was doing at Epstein Island. And we need to find out everything else that we don't know about him. What we do know about him is frightening enough. No, he should reject. Please, reject. Bill Gates is a reject. Alexandra Marshall said, given that 20% of all Australian young people believe that communism is a better system of government than the free and peaceful democracy they currently live in, send them to China, see how they feel about communism after that. For 5 years, I reckon, should do it. Send these young people who think communism is a better system of government over to China or Iran or somewhere like that and see if they like it. Try it before you buy it, mate. Why don't we organise school speakers who escape communism as some sort of summer camp in a gulag where they can shovel gravel until they learn what it means to lose freedom in the name of the greater good? If you hear the greater good, run the other way, seriously. Gaurav, worked the Apollo missions, killed his dad, started McAfee Software, Forbes Top 100, presidential candidate, wanted in 3 countries, survived 50-plus assassination attempts, married a prostitute who was hired to kill him, behind Edward Snowden, Bitcoin billionaire, hacked Hillary Clinton's office by sending her staff free computers, killed a few people in Belize, lived on a boat in the Caribbean Sea with armed guards, never paid income tax because he blackmails the US government, escaped captivity in Guatemala by faking a heart attack, committed suicide in a Spanish prison, may still be alive. This is apparently McAfee. Yeah, he did warn. Important warning from John McAfee to Elon Musk, whose job will be getting rid of these government agencies who are the Trojan horses for corruption and who think they're above the American people and who disobey the US Constitution because they're traitorous. If we found out he was still alive, we'd be so happy knowing he's out there in the world smoking crack. Oh, no. Is he another one? Like, he's questionable regardless, right? But there you go. He did try and warn people. Shadow of Ezra said a former graphic designer for Disney and Pixar who worked on films like Ratatouille and The Incredibles has been sentenced to 25 years in prison for being a pedo, complicity in child SA and human trafficking. Bolhelm Buchiba, 59, was convicted by a French court for SAing children between 2012 and 2021 with hundreds of reported cases. Buchiba orchestrated the SA of children from the Philippines watching the attacks live. The victims were little girls aged 5 to 10. Millstones. That's all I can say. Millstones, please. Deep, deep in the ocean. Deep, way out where they cannot swim anywhere. And a millstone. That'll help. Riley Gaines said Trump just appointed the first ever female chief of staff. Incredible, but wait, I thought he hated women. I swear I have read that. I think I have. Where's that more? Now I'm going back to look for more posts. Should be right here. Show more posts. Europe Invasion said breaking news. Donald Trump is preparing to withdraw from the Paris Climate Agreement. Do you support this? Yes, I wish Australia would do it. Thoughts from Cerebro. Said, I hold an MA degree in political science. I don't yet understand these results, and I don't pretend to. I'm not into conspiracy, but I'd like to know. Did millions across PA, WI and Michigan really split their vote? And number 2, did millions of Dems voters really stay at home? No, something funny's going on, I'm telling you. Hazel Appleyard said this is the dumbest fucking thing I've ever seen. Danny Revord said, I had a miscarriage last night and the first thing I had to do was Google if I broke a law. I didn't even know I was pregnant. I was 8 days late. Just, sit with that for a second. Seriously, love, you need help. This is what Oprah, Kamala, Michelle Obama were telling these people, trying to frighten the shit out of them, right? Into not voting for Donald Trump. And they'll believe anything they're told. Like, seriously. That is the dumbest thing I've ever seen. Carolyn D. Greiter said, and so it starts. J.D. Vance says US should drop support of NATO if Europe tries to regulate Elon Musk's platform. Jack the Aussie said, good morning, Aussies. Tell Elmer Fudd, to stick his disinformation bill right up his ass. I fully agree with that. Okay, and there's Trump's speech on the mis and disinformation. Who? I don't know. Who? Valerie said, oh, poor little Australia will never be able to CBDC their citizens without the US support. Damn, he threw a spanner in the parasitic globalist plans. How fabulous. Let's have a listen.
And tonight I'm also making another promise to protect Americans from government tyranny. As your president, I will never allow the creation of a central bank digital currency. Do you know about that?
See, he will not accept it. Aaron Smith said, imagine every international visitor landing in Australia having to compete with government age verification just to log into Facebook, Instagram, Twitter or YouTube. Nearly 10 million people will visit Australia next year and they won't be able to log into any social media accounts. Okay. Australian Patriot said, United Australian Party, don't welcome me to my country, Senator Babbitt. Was that my stomach? Anyway, Senator Matt Canavan said this week yet another pointless climate conference begins in Baku. For the first time since the Paris Agreement, countries that account for more than half the world's emissions have not signed up to the global plan. At last year's climate conference, China, India and Indonesia refused to sign the agreement. They account for 40% of global emissions. Over the next year, the US will pull out of the agreement after the election of Donald Trump. That will take the countries that are not in the global agreement to over 50% of carbon emissions. Why would Australia continue to handicap our own industry when countries that account for over half the world's emissions are not paying the price? All that staying in Paris does is push up the price of electricity and everything else for Australians. Net zero does nothing for the environment, it just makes us all poorer. There are now a majority of people out of the Paris Agreement, and Australia and our moron politicians are still sitting there, wondering where everyone else went. Okay, Catherine Boyle said, my HOA has these things. I swear to God, I don't know why you've got homeowners associations. They don't know how prepared I am for war. Dear homeowner, it has been observed that your holiday lights have been turned on prior to the date the rules permit. The rules of the association state that holiday lights and decorations can be installed 2 weeks prior to Thanksgiving, which set the date for next Thursday, November the 14th, 2024. Please have the lights turned off prior to that date. I swear if someone tried to tell me what to do on my property, I'd be showing them the door, and not a nice way. Tim Poole said time for Republicans to convene the COVID trials, investigations, indictments, arrests. I agree with that. Here we go. Right, this is for all the Americans who now want to come to Australia because we are an authoritarian country and they love that, right? Francie Nancy said, hey, crazy American woke tards coming to Australia. Check out these, some of which can be found inside the house. The white tail rots your flesh, while the redback and funnel web spider, where's the funnel web? Here it is. The redback here and the funnel web spider, right, are super deadly. Trapdoor spiders just pull you down into their tunnels and mouse spiders will eat flesh. Maybe try somewhere else. Okay, we got the white tail, or we call it the white tip, the redback spider. These can be found these are normally inside your house somewhere. I found one of these. Oh, no. Yeah. No, to me it was like a bird spider. It might be this one. I found one of these in my house one day and you should have seen the size of it. Seriously, I had trouble getting it out. I had to vacuum it up the vacuum cleaner. And I had trouble going up the vacuum cleaner because it was bigger than the bloody tube it was trying to fit through. Right? A trapdoor spider, they have little trapdoors in the ground, right? And they're pretty big. They can drag nearly a finger down there. And this is a funnel web spider, which is just poisonous all round, right? And in response to that, Rita Panahai said to any crazed American lefties wanting to move to Australia, this is a typical supermarket in Australia. Also, we have more than enough crazies here, thank you. Try New Zealand. Okay? This is Australia. This is an Australian supermarket, right, with a big snake coming out of the spice racks, right? Now, any lefties thinking they want to come to Australia, please note that this is going on everywhere, right? They're all over my front yard, these things. And there's some pretty deadly ones too. There's the brown snake. There's a red belly black snake. There's a yellow belly black snake. What else have we got? What other poisonous ones have we got here, guys? Help me out here. Tell all the leftards in America just how poisonous these animals are, right?
You gotta go.
Yeah, you gotta go. He's gonna try and turn around and bite you now. Okay, so left wokies, don't come to Australia. This is what you got. Not to mention the crocodiles, mate. Seriously. Now they will definitely take a whole body in with them, roll you over under the water till you drown, and save you for later, and snack on you later. That's what they do. Wu-Tang Flan said Australia also has animals with the most deadly venom in the world. Our kangaroos hunt and regularly kill people and chase cars and kill the occupants, which they do. Not necessarily chasing people, but like just jumping out in front of your car, and their legs can go through your windscreen and rip you to shreds. Okay, let me tell you. Now, for normal people, okay, just don't disregard what I'm saying. Okay, sorry, sip of my cup of tea. For their safety, they should not come to Australia. But look, sometimes kangaroos do end up through your windscreen because they jump out in front of your car and they've got a pretty high jump. So your windscreen collects them. Sometimes their legs go through the windscreen. They're still kicking and they can rip you to shreds, okay? Francie Nancy said, don't. I won't even get started on the snakes. John Smith said, I just witnessed 3 cats and a dog being run over by a hoop snake. Would have been 2 snakes, but that was busy chasing a tourist. Okay, they're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats. They're eating the pets of the people who live there, okay? Peter Sweden said, breaking Norwegian police, the Norwegian Supreme Court and the State Statistics Bureau have all announced they'll stop using X. What's going on? Are they about to ban it? Is that what's going on? Communists don't believe in free speech. Get a VPN. Alexandra Marshall said censorship laws are increasingly based on the idea it should be illegal to offend people. Why? No idea. Offending people is critical to keeping bad ideas and divergent behaviour out of the mainstream. The power to offend is part of what keeps society sane. So go for it. Offend everybody. Offend me. I've probably offended you at some point, so feel free. Oh, here comes the cat. I won't eat you, don't worry. Okay, no one's going to eat you, Mr. Smiggles. I'm just... Especially not the snakes and the crocodiles and that, you know. You'll be right, mate. Sorry, he's really not letting me do anything right now. He's right in front of me. So just let me put my keyboard over there so he doesn't end the stream or something like that. Oh, he wants out. Hang on a sec, guys. Give me a sec. Okay, I am back. Stephen said I'll be voting for One Nation because they're the only ones against carbon zero malarkey, massive immigration, restrictions on free speech, and keep calm and vote One Nation. Well, they're the best bet, really, but, you know, go for all the minor parties, you know. Andrew Tate said, Trump, they tried to kill you twice. They tried to destroy society and brutally mutilate our children. They lie about healing now because they lost. They talk about rights now because they lost. If they'd won, they'd crush us all, have no mercy. They don't deserve it. I agree. Kobe Thatcher said Peter Dutton should follow Trump and commit to withdrawing Australia from the Paris Climate Agreement. And who if he wins the election? You got Buckley's, mate. Sorry. Peter Dutton is full on in lockstep with the rest of them. Seriously. I don't know why you think it is going to be a good idea at all. And that is the end of that. So we'll have a little chat and then we'll go over to Rumble and see if anyone wants to call in. Because we can speak freely over on Rumble. We cannot speak as freely here. So a call in could actually get me deleted here. Ah, dear. Deb J said, looks just like Pennsylvania. Deb said, it feels bloody great. Trump won. Definitely. Kai said, hey, everyone. Wacky fingers. Maybe slow today. Everyone's saying hello to each other. Alex said, no worries. Hope you're feeling better. Good to see you, Kai. And Mrs. Kai. Tony's in here somewhere. Yes, oh, she is. God love her. Alex said, I'm sure you still look beautiful, Hev. No, Alex, you're beautiful, right? I just look like shit this morning, okay? Seriously, no. I don't look that bad. I'm just, like, don't want to appear on screen. What's wrong with me? Alex said, it looks like they're all turning on each other. I saw Glug Pelosi is blaming Biden for the loss. They lost because the numbers were actually correct this time. Most of it, I'd say, most of it. Except for whatever the hell's going on in Arizona here. Like, Trump is ahead. 83% of the votes have been counted. So what are they waiting for? They called California without counting many at all. They had like a couple hundred. I've got to go back and look at my stream and find out what happened there with Cal, because I remember highlighting it, and they had barely counted anything at all, and they called it already for Kamala. Deb said, she said that's our job. Exactly. Hey, Gigi, how you going? Deb said, I bet they want to redraw. Oh, they're now saying that Trump stole the election, apparently. Ah, dear. Dooley said, hey, Tony, how are you and Kai doing? Alex said, I can't believe Arizona's still not called. Obama said that it would be a couple of weeks for the results. Glad it's just Arizona holding out. We found out the same day. Exactly. Yeah, the Kari Lake's been speaking up a lot about it, and I can't mention it on here, you know, because they're freaking hopeless here. So yeah, I've got a couple of good to go over on Rumble. Deb said, what do we think CDC was to protect us? It's scam jam to me. D-Lee said, you tell him, Hev. Oh, dear. I am Mrs. Kai said, sorry, I haven't been around, guys. Been working and packing. Oh, God love you. No worries, Tony, at all. Geoloff said, hey there, Alex, and tonight we're having slow cooked pot roast with mashed potatoes, mac and cheese. Oh, yum. Now you're going to make me hungry. Alex said, wow, she is stunning. Isn't she? So we got our own little MAGA ladies here. And they reckon, like, conservative ladies look better than the lefties for some reason. Maybe because they shave their heads and dye their hair green, purple, pink and blue. And conservatives don't. Yeah, so there you go. I don't know. That's just what I hear. Alex said, that sounds amazing. Gee, aloft, I've not eaten yet, so I'm hungry. I'll probably end up just having battered crispy potatoes as I didn't have time to fill my slow cooker. Oh, yum. Okay. Hey, Xander, how you going? Good to see you. Oh, yeah, Shannon said, don't forget the drop bears. Yes, Australia has dangerous drop bears that don't really exist. But, hey, just tell the left they do, right? And they'll just drop on you out of a tree and they will attack like there is no tomorrow. Okay? Oh, dear. Okay, Alex said, I heard the other day UK Zoo just released huntsman-sized spiders here and now they're now breeding. I've only just gotten used to the false widows, not windows. Oh, God love you, Alex. That's hilarious. Well, not really for you guys. I mean, you know, not releasing huntsman-sized spiders, but, you know, the false widows and not windows was hilarious. Kachega said there's no parties in our constitution. They're just men and women that voted in by their communities. All political parties practice treason and misprision of treason. Deb says spider as big as a dinner plate. Yes. Dealey said I think most countries are already making changes with Trump coming back. Yeah, ours are just like really stupid. Really, really stupid. Deb said, and a beautiful brown snake. Oh, yeah, the deadliest. Actually, let me just show you Australian snakes, right? For those that want to come here that are lefties. I'm trying to do this with one finger because my keyboard is up against the screen there. Okay, let's go. Let's have a look, eh? We got snake bite kits here in Australia, right? Because that's how big it is. Australia's 10 most dangerous snakes. Let's have a look. Australia is known for its dangerous snakes, and we have many, but in reality, few people die. No, don't tell them that. A lot of people die from snake bites, right? When it comes to self-defense, Australian snakes have things pretty well covered. Eastern brown snake, okay? Also known as common brown snake, found throughout the eastern half of mainland Australia where I am, right? I've had one or two in my yard already. Fast-moving, aggressive and known for their bad temper, eastern brown snakes, together with other browns, are responsible for more deaths every year in Australia than any other group of snakes. Not only is their venom ranked as the second most toxic of any land snake in the world, based on tests on mice, poor mice, they thrive in populated areas, particularly on farms and rural areas with mice. If disturbed, the eastern brown raises its body off the ground into an S shape, mouth gaping open and ready to strike. Its venom causes progressive paralysis and stops the blood from clotting, which may take many doses of antivenom to reverse. Victims may collapse within a few minutes. Then we got the western brown snake, also known as guada. Found widespread over most of mainland Australia, absent only from the wetter fringes of eastern Australia and southwestern Western Australia. Bit less aggressive than its eastern cousin. It's still highly dangerous and part of the group of snakes that causes the most fatalities in Australia. Western browns tend to be fast-moving and nervous in temperament. When disturbed, they'll run for cover, striking quickly if cornered, then making a quick getaway. Though their venom is not as toxic as the eastern browns, they deliver 3 times as much. Bites are usually painless and difficult to see due to small fang marks. Victims will experience headaches, nausea, abdominal pain, severe coagulopathy, blood clotting disorder, and sometimes kidney damage. Then we got the mainland tiger snake, also known as the common tiger snake. Found along the eastern coast of Australia from New South Wales to Victoria to Tasmania in the far corner of South Australia. They're the second highest number of bites in Australia. They go into populated areas along the east coast, including some metropolitan areas of Melbourne. They're attracted to farms and outer suburb houses where they hunt mice nocturnally and can be easily trodden on by unsuspecting victims in the dark. But bites are fatal if untreated, causing pain in the feet, neck, tingling, numbness and sweating, followed by breathing difficulties and paralysis. The venom also damages the blood and muscles, leading to renal failure. Adult snakes are usually, but not always, banded with ragged stripes varying in colour from pale yellow to black along a solid muscular body that can grow to 2 metres. When threatened, they flatten their necks and strike low to the ground. Then we have the inland taipan, also known as fierce snake or small-scale snake, found in cracks and crevices in dry rocky plains where the Queensland, South Australia, New South Wales and Northern Territory borders converge. Okay, they're reclusive and rare. It's toxic, considered the most potent of any land snake in the world. It has the potential to kill an adult human within 45 minutes, and if you're in the middle of nowhere, there's more than 45 minutes to get to somewhere that you need to be, right? Hunting in the confined spaces of the burrows of the long-haired rat, the inland taipan uses potent venom to finish off prey quickly, injecting more than 40,000 times the amount needed to kill a 200-gram rat. This prey has little chance of fighting back. Only a handful of people or snake handlers have been bitten by this species. Each survived with first aid and hospitalisation because they were close to one. Okay? If you're in the middle of nowhere and you get bitten by it, see you later. See ya. Coastal taipan. Okay, also known as the eastern taipan, found in an arc along the east coast from northern New South Wales to Brisbane and northern Western Australia. They're fond of sugarcane fields. Extremely nervous and alert, you don't want to be around one. They put up a ferocious defence when surprised or corner freezing before hurling their lightweight body forward to inflict several lightning-fast snapping bites. So several, they don't just bite you once, they do it a few times. However, they're not usually confrontational and would much rather escape. Before the introduction of specialised anti-venom, the bites were nearly always fatal and caused many human deaths. The venom affects the nervous system, the blood with nausea, convulsions, internal bleeding, destruction of the muscles and kidney damage. In severe cases, death can occur in just 30 minutes. And most of Australia is not near a hospital, in the middle of Australia. Okay, mulga snake, also known as the king brown. Throughout Australia, except in Victoria, Tasmania and the most southern parts of Western Australia, the widest distribution of any Australian snake. Heaviest venomous snake in Australia has the largest recorded venom output of any of the world, delivering 150 milligrams in one bite. The average tiger snake only produces 10 to 40 milligrams when milked. Their temperament seems to vary with locality. Southern mulgars are reported to be shy and quiet, whereas northern specimens are much more agitated if disturbed. When they throw their heads from side to side and hiss loudly, mulgars bite savagely, even hanging on and chewing as they inject massive amounts of highly toxic venom, which destroys blood cells and affects the muscles and nerves. Though commonly known as the king brown snake, the mulga is actually a member of the black snake genus Sudis. I don't know. And black snake anti-venom is needed to treat the bite. We've got the lowlands copperhead, also known as the common copperhead, found in relatively cool and cold climates in southeastern Australia, southern Victoria, Tasmania, and the islands of Bass Strait. It's the only venomous snake found above the snow line, active in weather usually considered too cold for snakes. It's a water lover. Copperhead snakes are at home around dams, soaks, canals, drainage ditches, and along the verges of roads, and sometimes in your water tank. Copperheads are shy and prefer to avoid humans, though they live in populated and agricultural areas. If cornered, they'll hiss loudly, flatten their body, and flick or thrash about, usually without biting. With further provocation, they may lash out, though they are slow to strike and can be inaccurate. Its venom is neurotoxic, damaging nerves, rupturing the blood cells and damaging the cells and muscles, but rarely causes fatalities. Yeah, it just makes you absolutely cactus. A small-eyed snake, also known as eastern small-eyed snake, found widely distributed along the east coast from Victoria to Cape York. Its venom can pack a punch and shouldn't be underestimated. Little is known of its toxicity, but bites have caused illnesses in snake handlers, and there's been one known fatality. The venom contains a long-acting myotoxin that continues to attack muscle tissue, including the heart muscle, for days after the bite. Okay, they are coloured black or grey with a silvery belly. They blend into the night. When disturbed, they may thrash about aggressively. Common death adder, also known as the southern death adder, in eastern Australia except far north and south, southern south and western Australia. Unlike other snakes that flee from approaching humans crashing through the undergrowth, common death adders are more likely to sit tight and risk being stepped on, making them more dangerous to the unwary bushwalker. They are said to be reluctant to bite unless actually touched. About half of death adder bites prove fatal before the introduction of antivenom. The venom contains a type of neurotoxin which causes loss of motor and sensory function, including respiration, resulting in paralysis and death. And the red belly black snake, common black snake, distributed down the east coast and slightly into southeastern South Australia. The red belly black snake is somewhat less venomous than many other Australian snakes, but more likely to come across it in urban areas, and its bite is certainly no picnic, causing significant illness and requiring medical attention. Red belly blacks are one of the few large venomous snakes still found in the Sydney region at 2 metres long, and are capable of eating other snakes. They're not particularly aggressive and will escape from humans if possible, but when threatened will flatten their bodies and hiss loudly. And I have come across one of these walking in the bush before. The venom causes blood clotting disorder and muscle nerve damage, enough to knock you off your feet, but rarely deadly. No deaths have been confirmed by this species. And, yeah, I'll tell you guys how to avoid them, but not the lefties. Stand still. Most of them, okay? Not all of them, but most of them. Okay, so that should stop any lefties, hopefully. Hopefully they hear this and don't come here. Alex said, don't forget those pesky little bunyips, Shannon and Deb. Sherry said, there was a trans man on TikTok saying he's moving to your neck of the woods, Hev, since Trump won. Heads up, they're coming your way. Well, hopefully I've just, put some of them off. Hey, Bazza, how you going? Hey, everyone from Alabama. Shannon said, government pushed false flag first, Arthur. Yep. Deb said, yes, and they're the water most dangerous beaches. Oh, yes, we do. We have sharks everywhere. Okay, they can swim up rivers inland too, let me tell you. Parramatta River had a shark in it once or twice. Okay, that's where I grew up. Zal said, Port Arthur was FF. Using sniper, yes, I agree. Sal, definitely. Kai said there'll be a long, possibly hard changeover. Conchega said I used to walk through King's Cross with the Ruger 223 Mini 14 on my way home on leave. Yeah, you used to be able to buy them in Kmart as well as the bullets. Alex said they're all shitting themselves trying to backtrack. D-Lee. Conchega said Zal, this cafe shot from the hip, 20 shots, 19 headshots. Yeah, right. Sure, an autistic kid could do that, yeah. With the mentality of a child, yes, I'm sure. He could just stand there and take 20 shots and hit 19 times in the head. Yeah, sure. Shannon said, Conchega Yowie has the bunyip caged up at Murray Bridge. Sal said the world will be suddenly shocked out of its stupor, hopefully. Alex said they thought Headboard Harris had it in the bag. Kai said, yay, Godspeed, Conchega. Everyone's saying hello, Conchega. Oh, yeah, the Lint Cafe too. Yes. What about the cartoon, the news cartoon that was shot at? I can't remember the name of it. It started with an H, I think. Conchega said, Shannon, yeah, mate, otherwise someone would try and eat it. D-Lee said, Kennedy's been going to town disclosing the poison our food, water, medicine. Yep. Deb said MK Ultra, probably. Baz waved. And Alex said, Trump looks like a conehead. That was a funny film. Sal said, Shannon, you have bunyip bloodline. Conchega said, Zal, I could have taken that dick out. Kai said, nah. Come swallow Harris, just ducked out, basically. Oh, Bazza, you're an Aussie living in Alabama. Oh, excellent. I envy you. Deb said, release the bunyip. Shannon said, that bastard owes me money. I put an account in a slot and it didn't come out and dance for me. Coin. Oh, you put a coin in the slot. Who are you talking about? Oh, dear. I am Mrs. Kai said, have you guys seen all the meltdowns since Trump was re-elected? I just don't get it. I get it. They're mentally ill, I believe. Alex said, aren't those dogs in Black Mirror? I've not seen it, but I've seen clips. Yet the robot dogs. We should do that one day too. D-Lee said, yes, Tony, propaganda works on some. Alex said they'll be adding AK-47s to them next. Kai said, Aussie made a statement about the Trump win. It's currently being translated from English to English. Sal said, back in the days of PK Truth, he basically brought down the FFBS. Then old Demigod came along amongst a few other great channels, mostly now all long gone. Yes, that is, yeah. Conchega said, Shannon, the Corporate Council tried to tell us it would cost $110,000 to fix it. It must have family working in the industry. And Deb said, yes, they're Black Mirror dogs. Deb said, yes, I agree 100%. Alex said, yes, pretty funny to see. Tony, I am Mrs. Kai. I am Mrs. Kai said, I agree, Alex. Deb said, he makes me want to vomit. Which one? It could be hundreds of them. Albo, Ted Ross, Schwab, Gates. Sal said, a VPN will get around any Labor's legislation garbage. D-Lee said, my 7-year-old grandson is more tech-savvy than me. Yes, I'm going to need one of them to help me get a VPN. Unless I'll pay for it. Do the free ones work? I don't know, guys. Let me know. You probably don't get much coverage on them. I had one free one that only covered 500 megabytes of information. After that, it didn't work. Deb said, so out of touch. Conchega said, stop saying they're a government. They're not. They're administrators for a dissolved corporation. If you vote, then you're part of the problem. Don't whinge. Taxes voluntary. Look it up. I know, Conchega. I know. Sal said, this poor bloke will probably lose his job for his rant. Yeah. Kai said, D-Lee got me beat too. Deb said, it's Aussie time to speak out. Sal said, Wayne Glue from Liability Mate channel has this government's measure. Geoloff said, Alex, I started the roast yesterday at 5 p.m. Now it's now 5:15 p.m, so it's ready. I just have to prep all the sides and the plate, and the sample of the roast was spot on. I took it all yum. Geoloft. Sounds delicious. D-Lee said, Kai, he has a tablet, me a phone. We both have 4 years. Kai said, be right back. Got to repack the pipe. Conchega said, Kai, you better have enough for the rest of the class. Alex said, I saw the other day that Iran has sent Trump death threats. He needs a bulletproof force field or something. D-Lee said, I second that, Yowie. D-Lee said, Alex, I don't believe it was really from Iran. No, I don't either. Alex said, I always leave mine 12 to 24 hours. The longer the better. That sounds delicious, Geoloft. Virginia, how you doing? I am Mrs. Kai said, Conchegi doesn't even share with me. Never mind, I don't smoke. Conchega said, Lozzie B, if you're a proud Aussie, then piss that blue corporate rag off and fly the people's flag, 1904, red ensign. Well, Conchega, you're not going to like me when I get my flags. I bought a blue one. Alex said, blimey, that looks like a trans borrower from the borrowers. Sal said it was Chucky's sister. Conchegi Yowie's laughing. Kai said it's medication. Okay. Gigi said not fully retarded. D-Lee's laughing at what Gigi said. Alex said not the borrowers. I was thinking of the Grinch, although I think she was borrowed or something. Geoloff said, right on, Alex. Kai said, I am completely 100% dumb as hell. No, you're not, Kai. Alex said, that doesn't even look like Hillary. Deb said, I am Mrs. Out to Lunch. Shannon said, Lasso should take care of Robo-Dog. Conchega said, Alex, it's the woman that won the lookalike competition. Kai said, I'm going to attempt painting tomorrow. Ought to be interesting. D-Lee said, Kai, you're smarter than college graduate. I've seen you rig up some things. Alex said, Conchega, mental illness at its finest. Kai said, been literally decades since. D-Lee said, oh, I heard Oprah and Diddy have 3 videos together. Kai said, I've only got a 131 IQ. Huh, it's pretty good, Kai. Conchega said, D-Lee, yes, sacrificial. Kai said, but I grew up basically homeless. Oh, God love you. Deb said, domino around the world, Trump. Alex said, Harpo's a monster like the rest of them and can't wait until they're all exposed for the monsters they are. And Deb said, how dare he? Geoloff said, hey, Hev, remember way back when, probably not, but I found out BLM was not the black people that most had in mind. It's the same with trans. It's all satanic. Yeah, I remember pointing out that half of BLM that were involved in those riots actually had white skin if people looked under the gloves and the black masks and the black hoods and everything they had on. Some of them were quite white, leading the way. Lefty white liberals. D-Lee said, I'll try to be there tomorrow, Kai. Conchega said, Kai, well, you're not dumb then. Anything under 100 is considered basic. Kai said, I'm old enough to see that college is a waste of time and money. Deb said, so looking forward to the stars falling from the sky. Mrs. Kai said, Alex, I can't wait either. Conchega said, Alex Harpo is dead. Deb said they would have great produce, the Amish. Oh, definitely. D-Lee said, honestly, if they would called it for Harris, I would seriously lose it. Kai said, thanks, D-Lee. Deb said, Australia needs to learn to vote. Yes, they do. Kai said, autocorrect is an arse again today, I see. Conchega said, Deb, not for corporate governments, though. I and Mrs. Kai said, D-Lee would have lost it too. I would have lost it too. D-Lee said, Kai, autocorrect is going crazy. Deb said, they are Labor is green. Kai said, I've always said I'm no rocket doctor. Conchega said, Deb, Australia is not a country, is a country, not a landmass or a nation. It was registered in 1773. Deb said, there's a teal group now. Yeah, don't vote for them either. Deb said, thank you, Conchega. Alex said, was that when we found out the leaders of BLM were stealing the money for houses and they were witches or something, Geoloft? Kai said, I'm like Farnsworth, except my shit usually does work correctly. Conchega said, McAfee has all their servers. Kai said, who saw come swallows concession speech faked. Alex said, John McAfee has loads of dirt on everyone. Every computer had McAfee antivirus on it at one point. He was hacking everything. There you go. Deb said, we know he was not perfect, but he did try. Yeah, he did try and warn people. And who knows why people do things. Deb said, we know he was... Oh, yeah, I've seen that. D-Lee said, I've seen parts, Kai. Shannon said, wood chipper lubrication. Alex said, that made my blood run cold. These sick bastards will pay for what they've done. Yes, millstones indeed have. D-Lee said, Alex, yes, didn't McAfee give the government a bunch of free computers? Yep. Kai said, funny how the White House fit in that room, invisible to all but cell phones. Kai said, Shannon, I'll get the first shift in that job. Kai said, I'll be the tools for breakdown repair. Geoloff said, Alex, I found out prior to that what they were really up to. The movements were never co-opted. They were satanic from the conception. It's all a power-hungry death cult based on the Fourth Reich Rising. Deb said he did work on the wood chipper at his last job. Conchega said, does that mean he has my nudie shots? Alex said, that woman has a point about the miscarriage thing. One woman nearly went to the prison as the hospital gave her a pill to terminate, but she left the hospital, miscarried at home, and they locked her up. Where was that, Alex? I'll explain more on Rumble as too hard to explain here. Okay. Kai said, I've had a repair shop too. Alex said, maybe. Have you done a dark web search? People could be making thousands from your naughty pics, Conchega. Deb said, go to you-know-where. You can find all of the house. Conchega said, Alex, or making a ton of coin for weight loss. Geoloff said, if you remember the Florida condo collapse, it was believed that McAfee had a dead man switch server an apartment he owned within the building. A head-scratcher that the IDF was the leading agency. Kai said, I thought about doing foot stuff on OnlyFans, you know, spaghetti slow. Deb said, every backyard has redback spiders. Yep. Conchega said, don't forget the drop bears. Deb said they can latch on like a pit bull. I and Mrs. Kai said, be right back, need more coffee. Kai said, I'm not even warning Tony about my antics. Deb said, the snake are plenty in Queensland. They're on the veranda when with you when it rains, yes. Deb said, I've got videos of snakes on the veranda after the rain. There you go. Kai said, money for literally nothing. Deb said, we'll drop them off to you any time. D. Lee said, how are you Aussies surviving there? No, that was just for the lefties, D. Lee. I was making it sound really, 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 really frightening for the lefties, okay? Don't worry about it. I've stood on my veranda with snakes in my yard, and as long as you stand still, they don't bother you. Kai said, oh my God, Deb, I'd be on my very edge. Alex said, Aussie land is like a pit of doom with all the venomous creatures. It used to terrify me. And I said I'd never visit, but would visit now I'm older. I'm already planning our road trip. Good stuff. Deb said, yes, kangaroos leap at you when driving. Don't drive at twilight or in the morning. Dusk or dawn. They come out at dusk and they come out at dawn. So if you're driving, be very, very careful because they hop across the road, and if you hit one, their feet can come through the windscreen and scratch the shit out of you. Tear you up even. Conchega said, D-Lee, get a penchant for snake meat. Tastes like oily chicken. Deb said, in the water, our beaches are the most dangerous beaches with riptides. Oh, yeah, and the blue bottle octopus and the box jellyfish. No, it's not a blue bottle octopus. It's a blue bottle jellyfish and the box jellyfish that can kill you within minutes. Not to mention the riptides and the sharks. Okay, I am Mrs. Kai said, Kai, what antics? D. Lee said, Kay Yowie, I don't even eat chicken, not going to eat a snake. Kai said, of the sideways comments. Conchega said, D. Lee, faced with starvation, you would consume anything. Deb said, only witchetty grubs. Alex said, I used to work with an Aussie girl, and she said when the bushfires were going on ages ago, all the snakes made it to the city and they were inside every bin, shooting out at people going past, lol. Oh, dear. Now it's jumped on me. Hang on. Where was I up to? Okay. God, I was way back in the comments. Jeez Louise. Okay, I'm back to where I was. D-Lee said, I know those kangaroos lift weights. You should see them. They're muscly as. And their back legs are the strongest, so when they come through your windscreen and start kicking and scratching at you, it's, yeah, their back legs are very, very strong. And they keep going. Kai said, nope, not going to Australia. Nope. D-Lee said, I'd eat weeds first, Kay Yowie. Alex said, I'll call in. Cool. Conchega said, D-Lee, no, they're just naturally buff. They've been in a scuffle with 7-foot big red. Yeah, you don't want to come across a 7-foot big red either. Deb said, Kai will protect you. Kai said, love you folks, build some boats, I'll meet you all halfway. Conchega said, D-Lee, not with what they've been spraying in the air, and there's the dog pee as well. I, Mrs. Kai said, hey, Hev, meant to say that in the beginning. Oh, God love you. D-Lee said, Kay Yowie, I've seen them on video trying to get inside. Deb said, they're still hoping. Hopping? Yeah, they're still hopping. I actually had to fix my screen doors because I haven't fixed them since the turkey made holes in them at the bottom, and my cat scratched around the handles. And so at any time in the last couple of months, a snake could have came straight in my door through the little holes. Yeah. So I had to fix it yesterday to make sure. Kai said, I'll be riding shoulders like a giant monkey. I just can't stand reptiles. Deb said, live in fear, you silly Dems. Alex said, California literally went blue within 4 minutes. There were other dodgy things going on, numbers disappearing. Luckily, it was all sorted as the whole world were watching and they knew it. Deb said, I made roast pork Greek wrap. Oh, yum. Kai said, I'm going to bake a pizza. Oh, my God. Frozen? Oh. They're really nice when you do them fresh. Oh, my goodness. I don't think I'll ever have a frozen pizza again now. Deb said, yummy, what kind, Kai? Alex said, love you and Tony too, Kai. You're such a wonderful couple like Donna and Fred. Kai said, pepperoni, of course. I had bacon. Alex is laughing at the false widows. Deb said, so you need a Trump support to protect you while you visit Australia. Yes. Trump will save you, lefties. And Kai said, oh. Conchega said, catches on Mumble. Alex said, I would probably try and make friends with all the deadly critters. I can't harm anything. Kai said, I'll be cooking, then I'll be cooking. Deb said, when they told me that the baby browns are very dangerous. Yes, they are. And they're normally found under rocks and things. Is that the ones? Hang on. One of them is found under rocks because when I lifted a rock up at my friend's place out at past Bathurst, and there was like 6 or 7 baby snakes in there, and I just dropped it and left. Kai said, yep, nope, not going near Australia. Deb said, yes, the little thing stood up, so I got in a chair. Kai said, babies don't know how to save some for later, so yeah, really bad. Hey, Mouse of Doom, how you going? Kathy, how you going from USA? I found your channel a couple of years ago, and you were out in your garden. You zoomed in on a huge snake in your tree. Yes, I've had a few snakes in the front yard. Deb said, bird owner attached snake. Everyone's saying hello to Doom Mouse and Kathy. Alex said, I heard lots of snakes curl up in the tyre rim and try and bite your ankles. They could. Flyby said, in a bit, Bob. Alex said, hey, Kathy, glad you made it. Remember that video of the giant snake in the tree? Hev was keeping all eyes on it so it didn't come down. Kai said, I can see me hiking there. 3 wagons, 9F anti-venom plus body armour. Yeah, you probably need it. No, I'm kidding, Kai. It's all right. Alex said, I don't think I fancy any of that snake milk. I know it's the venom. Just sounded funny milking a snake, desperate times and all that. Kai said, Alex laughed my fucking ass off. Sal said, yes, stay away from lefties. The snakes will get them. Kai said, oh, damn, that's hilarious. Dealey said, Alex, me too. They milk the snakes in Australia. Them some tough people down under. Yeah, they do for the anti-venom. They have to milk them. Sherry said, we have copperheads here and rattlesnakes. There you go. George, how you going? Kai said, oh, shit, Dealey. Kai said, risk of chafing. Everyone's saying hello to George. Mouse of Doom said, please, no more snakes. Can we discuss kittens? Sal said, and drop bears? Kai said, the snake scales means make it so you can only go in one direction. Shannon said, don't forget the one-eyed spitting trouser snake. Oh, yes. Oh, yeah, the blue ring octopus as well, yes. Kai said, per stroke. Kai said, oh, yeah, blue rings are deadly. Dealey said, you keep that snake there, Shannon. Sal said, or the chocky starfish, Shannon. Deb said, and he got body bag in to accommodate the dead. Alex said, yeah, hardcore Aussies milking snakes, Dealey. GLF said, my grandfather had a great way to identify all snakes. If it has rattles, it's a rattlesnake. If it doesn't, it's copperhead. Either way, the snake is dead. Yep, Dealey said, no snakes for me. Kai said, Geo, that's a very good method. I use it myself. Sherry said, I hate snakes, don't even like to look at them in pictures. Dealey said, same here, Sherry. Deb said, our elbow. Oh, yep, vomiting over our elbow. Yeah, I don't blame you. Kai said, after that, nope, too freaky. Dealey said, that whole story about the snake in the Garden of Eden decided for me about snakes. Yes. Kai said, I have a fear of water too. Alex said, my granddad was born in India and told me that when they were children they used to hold snakes top to bottom and whip-crack them to break their spines. Sounds horrendous. Kai said, don't know why really, except I swim like a stone. Dealey said, me too, Kai. Water's a powerful force. Kai said, one translation of my name is moving waters. Shannon said, the only thing I know is I know nothing. Kai said, I saw a video of a place in India where they live among cobras everywhere. Alex said, that's cool, Kai, moving waves. Zhao said, build larger mansions. Alex said, yeah, the old snake charmers, Kai. Kai said, Alex, look this up whatever your roots are. Hello, Cho. Flyby Stu said, 2 Irish men sat on the floor, 1 fell off. Kai said, I just used the first single sound. Kai said, I'm not charming anything with scales. Deb said, so first the pride, then come the fall. Yep. The pride comes before the fall. And that's what we've seen. Kai said they fell asleep. Alex said, is it Hawaiian party meaning white light or radiant? Kai said, it's Cherokee and Creek. Kai said, half from one tribe, half from the other. Deb's laughing at Kai. Kai said, name before birth even. Flyby said, that's me, Deb. Hello. Alex said, oh, wow, I think I remember you saying that a while ago now, Kai. Kai said, yeah, way back, Alex. Sherry said, I'm so proud of the Native American people. 67% voted for Mr. T. Good on them. Deb said, you are safe if you're with a Trump supporter. Yeah, for the snakes. Yeah, they don't go near Trump supporters, okay? Kai said, I'll age extremely well, then become a weighted paper bag. Oh, it's jumped again. Okay, I'm up to here somewhere. Deb said, so do our shark Dusk and Dawn. Yeah, Deb said the blue-ringed octopus. Alex said, that's amazing, original bloodlines, Kai. Zal said, just tell all the lefties to go swimming in Queensland during summer. Yeah, in floodwaters. Shannon said, blue-ringed octopus, lol. Deb said, a lot of people get into trouble not swimming between the flags. Alex said, I won't, I'd love to visit you all. Kai said, supposedly one of the last Cree. Shannon said, Injikanji jellyfish. Kai said, later called Creek after the last of the oldest died. Flyby Stew said, I seen a ghost laying on a wall. I think it was a spirit level, lol. Deb said, even stingrays killed the crocodile man. Yes. Alex said, it's enjoying when the chat jumps, lol. It's annoying, sorry. Yeah, it is annoying when the chat jumps on me. I've got to scroll back to find out where I was up to. Kai said, me totem, big stick. Alex said, oh yeah, Steve Irwin was pretty cool, Deb. Sal said, Hev's door has cat scratch fever. It does. Deb said, yes, we have plenty of kangaroos attacking people in the streets. Kai said, I'd drive a smart car to compensate. Deb said, what about loose monkeys from labs? George says, Steve Irwin was killed by a stingray. Flyby Stew said, back on tiger prawns. Deb said, we love Donna and Fred. Kai said, I saw that, Deb. Too young for testing, so it's a grab bag. Alex said, yeah, that was one of those passings that actually shocked me, George. Very sad. Sal said, don't touch anything when out in the bush in Australia, folks. Kai's going to go and start the pizza. He'll be right back. Deb said, we live in the suburbs now. We was in the country for 14 years. George said, same here, Alex. Flyby said, did anyone notice Kamala behaving like Lala? No. Sal said, oh, then there's magpies and kookaburras too. They're vicious little bastards. Oh, yeah, the magpies, they'll swoop you. And the plubbers too. They're worse than magpies. The plubbers, they come straight at you, mate. Kookaburras eat meat. They're birds that eat meat, okay? Shannon said, I milk my snake on the regular. Shannon. Oh, my God, I can't believe I read that out. Deb said, I don't fear the snake in the toilet anymore. George said, Kamala's always been la-la. Deb said, cats are just as dangerous. Deb said, yes, Sal, so true. Sal said, our Maggies love us here, though. We feed them grubs out of the garden and crushed walnuts. They used to bring their babies for us to see. They used to do that for me too. I used to feed them, like my crusts of my toast. Because I'm such a child, I peel the crusts of my toast and feed them to the birds, right? And they'd bring their babies and show me, and they were so cute. Pat said, my gran would say he's that low he could look up a snake's ass without bending. Alex said, we're living in biblical times, not long left now, I don't think. Deb said, there's nothing funnier than Irish men tell my mum Irish jokes. She said it's gold. Hey, Pat, how you going there? Oh, it jumped again. Here we go. We're jumping all over the place. Okay, I'm back to where I was. Not so bad now because I'm near the end. Geoloff said there's a video on YouTube from many years back prior to CGI. It shows teen boy jumping into the water in Australia with his GoPro, and just off to his side was a huge great white shark. No, thank you. Yeah, we've had them swimming. The rivers that connect to the ocean, we've had sharks swimming up those rivers. Deb said, I have friends that own a snake, and a very big one, 8 feet long. It sleeps in her son's toy box, and it was on the front door one morning. She posted my security on her screen door. Alex said, where is Timmy? Has he already rage quit? Hopefully he can join for the call-in. Deb said, praying mantises eat honeybirds. Deb said, oh my God, Shannon. Alex said, I think you need to pre-read Shannon's comments, Hev. I think so too. Shannon, now I don't know whether to read your comments or not. He says, his chickens eat Fritz. They love meat. I am Kai said, good night all. Dream about the money you'll be saving switching back to Trump. Exactly. Alex said, I love Tim Air, Deb. Dealey said, much love to you, Tony. Shannon said, that's a face video. The colour of the water doesn't match up. A fake video. Okay. That's a fake video. There you go. Well, with that, guys, I'm going to leave you here and I'm going to be over on Rumble. Yeah, hey, don't drink the milk. Not the ones that they get from the snakes anyway. I'll see you over on Rumble in about 10:15. Okay, guys, much love. See you there.